packed boxing weekend comes to an end. Adrien Broner makes his comeback. Teofimo Lopez defeats Josh Taylor in a somewhat of an upset surprise. To some people, to many people, I guess. And, of course, Sergey Derevyanchenko comes up just short again against Jaime Munguia in another fight where he could have got the decision and he didn't. Man, Paulie TV here. Paulie Malignaggi of Paulie TV. Let's get things started. So let's start with Friday night. Adrien Broner came back. Credit to Bill Hutchinson for hanging tough. Broner, obviously, another level, a different level of opposition for Hutchinson than he had been used to. And, of course, for Hutchinson, it was a big opportunity. And, he performed. He toughed it out, let's say that. It was all about the Broner show on Friday, and that's what it's about. It was about how he looked coming back and if he could put himself in position to get a bigger fight. I think he's done that. I think there obviously will still be some questions about Broner, but, of course, people love having questions about Broner, be it his attitude, be it his boxing. A motivated Broner. Can he still compete at this level? He's a motivated Broner. Remember, we all know the Adrien Broner that's at elite level. Can he get himself to that level? Obviously, he beat Hutchinson, but when he steps up to the elite level, are we going to see flashes at 33, 34 years old of Adrien Broner that we once saw in his 20s, that we once saw when he was hungry and really making his reputation? All the potential that we saw. Can he still bring that part of Adrien Broner out against the Regis Prograis of the world, against the Rolly Romeros of the world? Speaking of Rolly Romero, Broner post-fight comments called him Romelu. I think he took a page out of Mayweather there. Mayweather used to mispronounce a lot of the possible opponents' names on purpose. Also, Adrien Broner told you it was everything he needed. No, it was everything he wanted, but he told you what he needed as well in typical Adrien Broner fashion. So you still get the must-see TV antics of Adrien Broner, and I think for that reason he'll continue to spark curiosity, and he will sell against anybody in the world. So and the bigger opponents will obviously sell even better because people will want to see that fight, especially him in big fights. Who does Broner fight next? I don't know. He talked about Rolly Romero. I think that would be the most fun promotion. I really do. I think Rolly reminds me of myself in a lot of ways in terms of the attitude and the off the wall comments he starts to make. I was kind of known for that kind of stuff. I think Rolly in his own way is like that as well, and I think it will be a great trash talking promotion between Rolly and AB. I don't know what's going to happen as Rolly is in the running for the Ryan Garcia fight, or actually I guess Ryan's in the running for the Rolly fight himself because Rolly has the title. But so I'd have to see if that's a possibility. But personally, that's the one I really would prefer. Another guy being mentioned for Adrien Broner is Regis Prograis. Regis, top of his game right now, I think. But people want to see him with the mega promoter that he now has with Matchroom and has the dates and whatnot. I think Regis and AB would be a good fight. You'd probably favor Regis at this point. Regis is one of the best fighters in the world. But who knows? Maybe it's this kind of opponent that Broner needs in order to bring out the best of himself. I'll tell you what, Broner sometimes allows himself to be overwhelmed. I don't think Regis is that overwhelming type. He's a skill fighter. So skill versus skill. I think Regis and Broner could be an interesting matchup. Again, you'd favor Regis, but it'd still be a fight that I could see Broner being competitive in. And, upsets do happen. Regis certainly would be the favorite. And but it's a fight that I think people would be interested in and people would talk about and see. So a lot of possibilities for Broner as he searches for one final world title run in his career. Then Saturday night we had Teofimo Lopez coming back with a rather dominant performance against Josh Taylor. I tell you, Taylor started out pretty well, and then he just couldn't find his groove, and it was also, Taylor was varied rhythm. Taylor was such a good athlete. I mean, remember, this guy was doing backflips after every win earlier in his career. He had, you need that core strength to do that. You can see, like, off that core movement that he had, off that head movement, he was coming up with, he was flinging very, very creative shots. He's not a combination puncher as this fight even showed, but he flings very creative shots from varied angles, and you need a lot of athleticism to do that. I think Taylor at his best is very, very good. I thought he hurt Taylor to the body a few times. Credit to Taylor for hanging tough. He's proud. Scott, I think personally Josh Taylor is the best Scottish fighter that I've ever seen. You know what I mean? I know people say Cam Buchanan because of the reputation and the love people have for old-time boxing, but I'll be honest with you, man. Josh Taylor, to me, is I think Josh Taylor is better than Ken Buchanan was. People will call it blasphemy. Some of the old timers will call it blasphemy. I think Josh Taylor has been very, very good in his career, and I think this is a very impressive win for Taylor. I think people are going to diminish it a little bit because of the way Taylor looks against Catterall, but that just shows you the level of Catterall and how tricky he can be as well. But a good win for Teofimo Lopez, who now has a world championship. Yes, he announced his retirement, but I think that's one of the things fighters do nowadays. They just announce retirements and they keep fighting. I know Tyson Fury did that. Mayweather started that kind of tradition. And I think in the UFC, we also had the same weekend, Amanda Nunes just retired on Saturday as well. I also don't believe her retirement is, in a little bit offhanded non-boxing related news, since there was another retirement announced on Saturday. I don't think either of these people are retiring. I think we're going to see them fight. I think Teofimo Lopez is going to insert himself into the major names at 140 pounds as well as he should be. And I think he'll be a guy that people will continue to want to watch, and people will mention him among the big names. And I tell you what, man, he's not going to be easy to deal with. He said he's leaving ESPN after this fight, which means he would be leaving Top Rank. I wonder if that will be the case. Right now, he's got to, decide that he's going to announce that he's going to continue fighting. Because I'll tell you what, once they tell him they'll strip him of his world title if he retires, I think he'll unannounce it. He'll unretire, and then he'll start to, probably seek new deals and whatnot if indeed his contract is over with ESPN and Top Rank, which I don't know. But based on the way he was talking, I think this might have been his last fight on the contract. Don't know, but I'm curious to know. Sergey Derevyanchenko and Jaime Munguia. Munguia sealed it with a body shot knockdown around 12. I thought Derevyanchenko edged the fight, but again, he doesn't get the benefit of these close fights. Two Ukrainians get screwed in the past month of decisions, but for Derevyanchenko, it's another close one. I thought he could have got the Golovkin fight decision as well a few years back. It's unfortunate that Derevyanchenko will not get the credit his career deserves. This guy was a world-class, top-level fighter, and this was probably his last chance at a big fight, a last chance at a big win. I thought he won the fight, regardless of being knocked down around 12. I thought he won the fight, but it didn't go his way, and I don't know what happens now. A good win from Munguia, but again, Munguia still has the same kind of flaws. Most people ended up watching the Lopez and Taylor fight, but if you get a chance to go back and watch Munguia Derevyanchenko, it's worth your time, and it was a good fight. So where does Munguia go from here? He's now 168. I don't know. I guess he can be in the Canelo sweepstakes, the Benavidez sweepstakes. I don't know. I don't know if Golden Boy would ever work with Canelo, or Canelo would ever work with Golden Boy again, based on the fact that they broke apart so much. With so much animosity. Plus, Canelo is now not fighting. He's been saying he's not fighting Mexicans anymore after he did fight Angulo and Chavez Jr. in his career. So I don't know if that will also apply to Jaime Munguia, or if the fact that he doesn't get along with Oscar applies to the fact that he probably wouldn't fight Jaime Munguia. But regardless, there's a lot of options for Canelo. Munguia becomes just one of those names in the 168-pound division. And so we'll see. For Derevyanchenko, I'd love to see him make another run, but I don't know how many chances people are going to give him. I think he's a very, very dangerous guy. He still showed that. But he's not. He's a guy that people won't invest in, and that's why he gets robbed in these fights. So I don't know, but his time is passing, and he's obviously no spring chicken himself. But nonetheless, a little bit of appreciation for Sergey Derevyanchenko, who I thought could have got some of these tough, close decisions, like this fight with Munguia, and also the one with Golovkin. So that's it, man. That's a quick boxing recap. Good future as far as possibilities for Broner. I don't think Teofimo Lopez is going to retire. Where does Josh Taylor go from here? I think Josh Taylor can come back in maybe some kind of European title fight. I mean, Josh Taylor, I don't know who the European champion is, but Josh could easily grab a European title and then put himself back into contention at 140 pounds. He's had 2 fights in a row where he's looked a little bit subpar, because Catterall, he didn't look great either. So maybe picking up a quick European championship would be a little bit of a confidence builder. Maybe move up to 147. I don't know. I know Taylor had issues making 140 pounds, and now losing the title might be an excuse for him, a reason for him to be able to move up to 147. We'll see what the future holds for him as well. I'm Paulie Malignaggi. It's your boxing recap here on Paulie TV.